What's up everyone, Snooks here from Aussie Gamers Express with another review for you to check out and enjoy. This time, we're checking out EA and DICE's Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the release of this title, and I've got to tell you up front, if you're here to see some more, it's time to move on. We're not getting involved in that today. Today we're just having a look at the main story. This is what we want to go for. This is where we want to see what's going on, because as a major Star Wars fan, any new story within the Star Wars universe is something I need to pick up and have a look at. Firstly, as always, full disclosure, EA has provided us with a review copy, but be sure all my opinions are definitely my own. Bit of warning too, slight spoilers. Couldn't help it, but that's just how it is. They'll only come from the beginning of the game and the end of episode 6 of the movies. If you haven't seen episode 6 of the movies, then too bad, because the end's going to be spoiled. For the game itself though, main plot, twists, turns, and of course the ending, we're not going to go near. But let's get into it and have a bit of a play. Star Wars Battlefront 2 begins just as Episode 6 Return of the Jedi is finishing. You play as Commander Iden Versio, the leader of Inferno Squad, an elite special forces unit of the Empire. Your task is to find and destroy the Resistance. This is an untold story in the Star Wars world. You are able to see things from the view of the Empire and along the way as some of the Resistance too. But we're not going to go into those spoilers. DICE has done a great job of creating the classic Star Wars style and feel, along with creating a sense of just how evil the Empire really was, especially during its downfall. The story itself is fantastic. I can't tell you a lot about it because it is only a short story. Clocking in at 4 to 6 hours almost, for most people on normal, it's over very quickly. But those 4 to 6 hours are well worth the ride. I am hearing though that DICE is also looking to release some single player DLC in the future, which is always a good thing. And even better, it's free. Graphically, Battlefront 2 is the most stunning Star Wars game I have ever gotten my hands on. I played mine on a PS4 Pro and no complaints. No screen tearing, no glitches, no jumps, no dips. All brilliant. The only issue that I personally foresaw was the initial cutscene with spaceships, only because they looked flat and you could tell they were animated, where the rest of the game looks vibrant and beautiful. They were a little bit of a letdown. Each planet that you go on feels alive. Whether you run through a marketplace, through a jungle, or through a storm-soaked city, the detail in each world has been beautifully created. Also, NPCs are always something to watch out for. The way that they interact with the world around you and just go about their daily thing, it's brilliant to see, and the fact that there's that much detail just in the background, you know what's going to be in front of you from then on. Also, if you're a fan of the Star Wars world itself, keep out a keen eye. There's plenty of small nods to the franchise that will sure to put a smile on your face. The sounds are classic Star Wars. Beautifully recreated. Very well done. Instills nostalgia in you the moment you hear a blaster go off. The sounds that the ships make, the sounds of blasters, lightsabers, everything makes in there is pure Star Wars. There's nothing out of place. Dialogue is extremely well acted out, and each character creates an instant bond with you. That bond can be a good thing where you want to help them out, or you can kind of wish nothing but harm upon them. Either way, it does evoke a emotional response, which is very much needed for a subject with so much love and lore behind it. Unfortunately, there's some notable names missing from the voice credits. While it's not a deal breaker, because the people that step in are brilliant, it still feels very strange.
I'm not blind.
Gameplay is solid and builds on from the original Battlefront. You are set with your standard loadout at the start of each mission that can be changed if you wish. Extra abilities can be added and weapons can be changed, all via this card sort of system. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this system, but it does get you ready for the multiplayer. And being that the campaign is so short, the multiplayer is where you're going to spend a lot of your time. The only gripe I really have is the actual controls. They don't feel sharp. They feel a little loose. Many times I was trying to have precise movements and would end up being a major movement, which meant that I would be shooting off in a weird direction and completely missing the target, pretty much making sure that I was going to get slaughtered. To say that the controls were sloppy wouldn't be exactly fair, because they're not quite there. They just kind of feel as though they were rushed when they were put together. They didn't have the polish that the original Battlefront did. A future tighten up and tweak on them, it wouldn't go straight. I did have a little look at the multiplayer, and it's not my thing, but it's a bit of fun to me out there. There's a few issues with heroes being OP. As soon as a player in a lobby gets a hero, 9 times out of 10 they're shooting off into the distance by the end of it. You just can't catch up to them. It does become spawn die, but that's being tweaked and worked on as we speak. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of the bad press came from. It's a controversial business model, but you don't need to support it either. You know, and any loot boxes or anything like that, they're just their choice. They're not needed. Overall, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a great game and a great story. One that any fans of the Star Wars universe, you've got to at least have a crack at it, if only for the single player alone. The single player story in itself, while still not trying to spoil anything, it puts a great tie between episodes 6 and 7, and also throws in a whole lot of questions that you can ask about the new trilogy and the new characters and where they go. Definitely a must. And luckily enough, with the deals going around just before Christmas, I'd say it's worth the pick up. Enjoy. That's it from me. Nice quick one to go through. Hope you've enjoyed the review and it's helped out a little bit. If you have any questions, be sure to hit down below. Don't forget to come and check us out at AussieGamersExpress.com. Thank you. Leave us a like. Leave us a thumbs up. Whatever you want to call it. I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.